Before we begin, there is one big thing I have to address. Earlier on, I said I didn't want to use the DLC during the main story, as in my opinion, it throws off the balance of the main game. I was trying to avoid spoilers, but it's because of Chapter 11. So, we just lost all our emblem rings, and need to spend the next few chapters struggling with much more limited resources. Except if you have the DLC emblems, you don't lose any of them. While it makes sense to not take away something you paid real-life money for, it gives you far more options than you're supposed to have at this point in the game. So to preserve that experience, I won't be using them. I'm not saying it's wrong to use them at this point, but it will change your gameplay experience significantly, so just bear that in mind. And now, onto the video. Welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage. Last time, we went on the run from all 6 of the emblems we first got, but in the midst of despair, hope will never die and anything can change. I actually prefer in Japanese when Lucina and Chrom shared one of their crit quotes, but anyway, as Lyn says, we fought, and I talked about Lyn and her last time, and Lucina last time. This time, I'm going to launch straight into it, but right next to Ivy, might as well go over how she works.
Thank you. I will atone. For Elusia!
Ivy is a very interesting character. She has some significant flaws that take a bit of investment to overcome, but most consider this worth it as no one else can do what Ivy does, namely being a flying offensive mage who also has staff utility. Ivy's base stats are quite good, especially in magic, and her growths don't look good on paper, but they're enough to do what she needs. Now on to those flaws that needed compensating. First is her speed. As I said with Citrine, there are a lot of ways to fix speed in Engage, and we just got one of them, Emblem Lyn. Ivy really likes Lyn, or at least inheriting Speed Taker from her. The problem is, Lyn is a very high demand emblem, but Ivy is arguably one of her best users. Her other issue is her dexterity. Her base is good, and most tomes have a high enough hit rate for it not to be a big deal. But later on in the game, her growth and negative cap will come into play, and she might start missing a bit. But just like speed, there are ways to fix this. You can inherit Hit Plus from Sigurd, if you had one, but that Divine Pulse skill we saw back in Chapter 10 would also help. Maybe we'll get access to it soon. And if all else fails, there's also her personal skill, which gives her plus 20 hits against any enemy she fights twice in a row. Ivy also joins at a point where base SP gets very significant. 1000 is already enough to get some great skills, and it's only one expert book off getting Speed Taker from Lyn, something you can theoretically do now if you're patient with the well and skirmishes. Ivy's unique promotion is really just her base class but better, but as she's one of the few royals who really wants to stay in their base class, that's enough. At level 5, it learns its skill Grasping Void, which has a dex % chance of dealing damage equal to half the foe's magic when using a tome. This is meant to let Ivy act as a mage killer, but in practice it's far from reliable. But 10 base magic is very good for a class, and it's one of the few to have access to S-rank tomes and B-rank staves at the same time. And this with a flyer's mobility is incredible. Ivy can get into tricky locations and use support and status staves, or hunt down and destroy targets with magic. Like I said, there's no one else who does what she does, and that alone makes her a worthy choice for investments. And like, honestly, you probably wouldn't expect Ivy to join before Hortensia, but that's just how things went. And now, I guess I could talk to Zelkov next. Where is he? There he is. For some reason, Zelkov kind of likes being around the dining hall.
Ah. Give me work.
Zelkov is a thief with very high base stats, while inferior to Yunaka in terms of resistance. He is far stronger in most other respects on average. His personal skill, not quite, gives him essentially 10 more avoid on the enemy phase. And now that I've covered it, I can stop talking like him. If Yunaka is starting to fall off at this point, or if you never used her and you want a thief, and thieves are pretty good, Zelkov makes a great addition. But what I find most interesting is the aforementioned very high bases, especially 5 base build. That's something not a lot of people have. This makes Zelkov very effective in a variety of reclasses, but he has the same problem as Yunaka. Thieves can't reclass to second tier classes until they reach level 21, which means he needs to be trained at least 4 levels in Thief before you can do that. Honestly, that's not too far off, and it's not as if his combat is bad until then. Just like Yunaka, I highly recommend making use of knife forges for Zelkov. But overall, apart from resistance, Zelkov starts good, has good potential, and can instantly slot into a team. I'm glad that he says this whole, and it wasn't cut off one letter sooner than that. And now, where is he? There you are! Oh, I have some things to say about you. Except he wasn't at the actual orchard.
Thank you. Precision and power.
Oh, Engage, you were doing so well with character balance, and then you just had to birth this guy. I'll give time for this bio to sink in, so you realize you're not hallucinating those bases and growths. Yeah. Those base stats are absolutely disgusting. Like, look at that luck! 13 personal base luck! And over 20 dex and speed, good strength, and amazing base defense for a Swordmaster. 3 base build too. And then they gave him some of the best growth rates in the game. His personal skill effectively gives him plus 10 accuracy on the player phase, and he only has an internal level of 15, so he has no problems leveling up at this point. Kagetsu is so absurdly overpowered that not using him is effectively a challenge run. If you're new to Maddening, I'd highly recommend him. He makes the experience a lot easier. He does have one major weakness though, and it's part of why I don't like using DLC. Kagetsu really wants a reclass. He is considered the best Wyvern Knight in the game, but he's perfect in almost anything except Swordmaster. As I've said before, it's not a great class in Engage. And here's the problem. His only default proficiency is swords, and he joins right after we lose most of the emblems, and Lyn and Lucina can't teach him anything except bows. That's not going to bring him closer to Wyvern Knight. After Chapter 13, we'll get an emblem that teaches axes. But this means that without DLC, Kagetsu is stuck in an inferior class until then. Oh, and hi, Somi. I still love how Somi follows you around. So, with all 3 of those discussed, and that was quite a lot of discussion. In fact, I'm right outside the item shop because Armory and the item shop have new stock. In fact, I'll do the Armory first because the shop is the one that I'm really concerned with, even though I kind of spoiled in the last chapter. So, what's new, Mr. Armory guy? Steel Sword, 2 Iron 1 Killing Edge, and some more Iron Blades. We can get more Rider's Banes. In fact, that's going to be kind of useful where we're going. And we can also buy some more Iron Gritlances. Killer Axe. Oh, actually, that's going to be very useful where we're going, but we already have one. Killer Bow and 2 more Longbows. Again, that's going to be pretty useful. We can also buy some more tomes, including Elfire, which is nice. And we can buy Steel Daggers. and the more of the shielding art and steel hand arts.
Take care.
But like I said, the real thing I'm interested in is the item shop. Because they have 2 more Master Seals. Give!
I thank you. I thank you.
I also will take 1 second seal.
I thank you.
And yeah, that was the only new stock they had, but oh boy, what new stock it was.
Do come again.
Combined with the 1 Master Seal we got out of the last chapter, that makes 3 Master Seals. And... oh boy, Anna, you have some tough competition if they're selling Master Seals. But, on that note, Anna's gonna have to get one because she needs to get to Warrior as soon as possible. So yeah, definitely gonna go for Warrior. Yeah, I haven't even discussed Warrior's class skill yet. Merciless is really good. And unfortunately, yeah, the class outfit is... I don't like this outfit on Anna and Sean, but yeah, the Sage outfit is also quite bad on those two. And both of them like the Sage class, so that kind of sucks. But okay then, Anna is now a Warrior, and that means... I'm sorry about this Alchrist, but Anna needs to take the weapon that was made for her. In fact, she no longer needs the hand axe now that she can use bows. Because speaking of bows, what do I keep saying about warriors? Longbow chain attacks. And again, it's just this. I could potentially make use of that killer axe, but really for offense, Anna just needs the radiant bow. So
Here you go.
I could try giving that killer axe to someone else, but I like having access to the longbow for again 3-range chain attacks. Might not even need the poleaxe next chapter though.
Take care.
So I have 2 more Master Seals. And in terms of my party, Louis, Alchrist, Amber, and Ivy still need promotion. Yes, I do plan on using Ivy. I like some of her supports, and just as a unit design overall, I think she is very good. So the question is, who would benefit the most from these 2 Master Seals? And really, the answer is not Louis. It's not that I don't like him, but it's more that, like, he fulfills the same role now than as he would as a general. Like, as a general, he'd really just get more strength, and that's about it. Like, just... he still has, like, his defense is overkill as it is, whereas I think I do need to promote Alchrist now. Because I want to get him on the way to getting Luna as soon as possible, because if you're using Alchrist, Luna is the main asset that he has. Also, his upgraded class outfit is really cool. Well, you'll certainly repay that once you get Luna. And out of everyone else left, I'm deciding between Amber and Ivy. Here's the thing, though. The next chapter gets a lot easier if you have a good Ivy. Let's just say that a flying mage is really, really helpful. So I think I'm going to go for Lindworm here. We actually do get another Master Seal in the next chapter. But you kind of have to be fast to get it. So again, having a good flyer is going to be helpful in getting us even more Master Seals. So, let's go Ivy promotion. Barely even got to see her in her default class. Well, I mean, she did get the whole last chapter in it. She doesn't really look all that different. She just has like a rose on her face thing now, which should make it even more of a face cover than it was before. Oh, I forgot to get Clan Staff proficiency, so he can't even access Sage right now. And we're not going to have access to Staff proficiency for a while, even though we'll get Brawling proficiency soon. Okay, I guess Clan is stuck as a Mage Knight for the foreseeable future, which is fine, because Mage Knight's a really good class. Okay, there's a new map of the Tower of Trials, so I guess we are actually able to start doing that now, but as I said before, I don't really care about those all that much. Also, the Ancient Well result has come in. Weren't able to... well, I mean, you know, we were on the run. We couldn't really go and adopt any animals, but I would have liked another dog. And so now we can finally do strength training with Aaliyah again. Okay, what we're getting out of the well? A lot of freeze is great, actually, and also 2 books. I'll definitely take that. Another longbow too, so if I'd known that, I wouldn't have bought that longbow, but oh well. I may have another warrior later. So we only have 2 emblems. What can we do to even our odds, besides that bunch of promotions that I just did? Well, firstly, I need to go over Lyn and Lucina's bond ring skills. Because we only have access to them for bond ring creation too. For Lyn, an S-rank Eliwood gives draw back, used to move 1 space away from adjacent ally and pull the ally along. This can help boost the movement of some units. It's something that I probably should use a little more, but I generally don't really use it all that much. It's actually not a skill from Fire Emblem 7, it's from Heroes. And Nino S gives Giga Excalibur. If unit initiates combat with Excalibur, deals plus 20% damage. Now, Excalibur will not be obtained for a little while longer. I guess dealing plus 20 damage with it is kinda nice, especially if you forge it up a bit, but there aren't a whole lot of people who can use Excalibur anyway. The name of this is kind of a mistranslation too. Actually a side effect of a mistranslation from FE7. That game has a spell that is actually just called Excalibur in English, but in Japanese it was called Giga Excalibur. And that's also the reason why Nino, one of her variants, has that as well in Heroes. Now, Lucina's bond rings. From her, you get Rightful Ruler. Speaking of mistranslations, I'm so glad they finally gave this a gender-neutral translation. This was always called Rightful King in Awakening, even if a female inherited it. So yeah, Rightful Ruler adds plus 5% to trigger rate for skills with trigger rates. Depending on the skill you're thinking of, it can be kind of okay. Like, I guess Alcris could get some decent mileage out of it with Luna. And now that you don't really have much better to do in terms of emblems, well, admittedly, it stops Alcris from equipping Lyn, and Lyn's great on him, so eh. And then Heal Touch is from Lissa. When a unit heals an ally with a staff, it restores 5 more HP. Really, this is just a poor man's Micaiah. If you inherited some of Micaiah's staff mastery, you don't need this, but if you didn't by the time you lost her ring, you can, I guess, get that now. But okay then, also we can augment the engage weapons of just Lyn and Lucina. And let's just say we may have access to these higher tier engage weapons sooner than you would think. Yeah, Lucina's engage weapons, as I probably already went over, are not great, but Parthy is pretty solid. So, what else can we do to even the odds? Well, there's one thing that I've been specifically putting off until now, and it's going to require me to quit out of the game, so I'll be back here in a moment. So here it is. In the Nintendo eShop, if you search for Fire Emblem Engage, you should find this. Order of Heroes item set. Free download. This is free to anybody who has Engage. Previously, like in the first few weeks of this game's release, you needed to link a Heroes account in order to get this, but eventually they just made it free DLC available from the Nintendo eShop. And there you go, it's downloaded. Let's get back in there. You've received a special gift. Folkvanger, Fenzilier, and Nortun, along with Alphonse, Sharena, and Anna. And it's the Heroes Anna, by the way. So those weapons are Sword of Alphonse, Prince of Asker. Grants attack plus 3 for 1 turn if user has 50% HP or less at the start of turn. So that combos quite well with Vantage, but attack plus 3 on its own is still pretty good. And it's a fairly strong weapon. Like, that right there, that's basically showing that for Alear, it's, even without any forging, is just as strong as Liberation plus 3. For the spear, I don't know if this is like Sharena or Sharena. I don't actually hear it said in voice acting that often, but this inflicts attack minus 2 for 1 turn on adjacent foes at the start of player phase, so great for someone who's right in the thick of things, like maybe Louis, actually. And for the axe, you get, honestly, I probably should give this to our Anna. Axe of Anna, a commander in Asker, grants move plus 1 for 1 turn when user has 40... Okay, so you have to have low HP, but still, move plus 1 is pretty cool. If we go into emblem rings, Special Bond Rings. Alphonse gives Spur Attack. Attack +2 to adjacent allies. Sharena gives Fortified Defense, Defense +2 to adjacent allies at the start of player phase, and Anna gets Spur Resistance, Resistance +2 to adjacent allies. Yeah, this one is a buff that lasts for the whole turn, whereas this one requires everyone to be adjacent. So, like, for example, this is actually a really good bond ring for Aaliyah right now, but it would stop Aaliyah from using Lucina, because this would stack with Divinely Inspiring. Okay, let's see how much bond fragments we've got from achievements. And yes, I deliberately spent a lot of bond fragments last time on inheriting skills from emblems because I knew we weren't gonna have them for much longer.
Decided to stop by, huh?
But we didn't actually unlock any new supports from the last 2 chapters. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to the dining hall with Ivy and Diamant because I remember Diamant has some really, really good supports with some of the other royals, and I think Ivy might be one of them. Okay, I have 2 of the ingredients for this. I do really want to make sure that I unlock these supports and show them, because I have a lot to say about them. So, these ingredients, from what I've heard, these increase the chances of the dish being good, whereas the rare ingredients, like the toppings, just increase support points.
Whoa, look how good it turned out!
This is one of my favorites.
What an exceptional meal.
I got the support between those 2 and that's all that matters. Oh, A rank, nice. Only affects Firenze though, so that'll be affecting Louis. And does that count Jean?
Something to snack on between session.
I feel like that probably does count Jean, because this game's generally pretty good with attention to detail on cooking effects. Yes, I believe that did affect Jean. Well, I mean, one thing's for sure, since we can basically only use bond rings, nobody's going to be missing out on SP in the arena. Oh well, you're right on the cusp of a level up, let's get this. In fact...
I'll be your opponent.
I won't let this chance go to waste.
Of course you're using the hero's weapons right now.
I wasn't strong enough.
Somehow I won.
Yeah, Lapis is pretty good and you beat her. But yeah, this is going to give Aaliyah their class skill, Divine Spirit, which shortens the engage meter by 1 step, except, oh wait, we only have 2 emblems right now. Still, it's still pretty good. Yeah, the game really doesn't want me to do my whole Martial Master Aaliyah thing yet, because he gained some pretty good strength from that. Oh, actually, like, Jean is kind of close, but, like, honestly, he does not need any help gaining experience because of his staves. I wonder if I can get you to Brave Assist.
You're going down.
Thanks for showing me what I still need to work on.
Thanks for the sparring match.
Oh, no, there's no way she's getting to the next level, but she will at least maybe be able to get Brave Assist early in the next chapter.
Thanks for the sparring match.
And now, emblem trading. So, yeah, there's not a lot we can do here right now, but I do think both Alcris and Ivy should train a little bit with Lyn. Because depending on, like, where the initial enemies are located, I could be using Lyn on either of them in this chapter, and honestly, Lyn is pretty good on, again, either of them in this next chapter.
Do you think me a worthy opponent?
I am Lyn of the Lorca tribe. Victory is yours, but I won't lose next time.
Lucky, I suppose.
Well, I mean, I suppose that's par for the course for Lyn's performance in Fire Emblem 7.
Your ring is something of an heirloom in my family. I suppose that makes things awkward.
Hyacinth does actually resemble Lyn's villainous uncle, who I used to call Lord Lundergunden. I know that's not actually his name, but it's just so fun to say, Lord Lundergunden.
Not at all. I spent many years in your father's company. King Hyacinth treated me well.
Yeah, there are implications that Hyacinth may have not been entirely himself. And if you've played the game already, you might actually know who's responsible. And it may not be who you think, if you haven't. I mostly wanted to get Ivy to Speed Taker, though, because that was what I was missing last time. You just get so used to having that with Lyn, I was just like, oh right, yeah, you do need to be level 3 with her to have Speed Taker. Because Speed Taker is pretty much one of the main reasons to use her, one of many reasons to use her.
It's me, the Brodian prince who isn't Diamant.
Finally to get that line.
I'm Lyn. I won't be holding back.
Will you?
We must be faster.
Well, actually, it's Alchris who'll be getting faster.
Victory is yours, but I won't lose next time.
I'm sorry. Are you hurt?
Lynn already failed to make good on that promise once. Yeah, she usually does better in the arena.
You're the emblem King Hyacinth once used. But now you're an ally? This is hard to accept.
Until you can forgive me, Alchrist. Think of me only as an emblem, not as Lynn.
Yeah, if Alchris knew what Lynn was actually like, as like a real person, he'd probably feel differently, but, right now he can only... That is something also interesting about Alchrist, yeah, he does have supports with Ivy. Some people do feel like he's a little too quick to forgive her in those supports. Yeah, I don't think I need to go any higher with Ivy. I don't need those proficiencies, and the Manikati is not an amazing engage weapon. Oh, but dual assist though. So, I often like to have Ivy inherit dual assist because, like, there's not a whole lot else I can really do with her with her starting SP.
Ivy, Crown Princess of Elusia.
Lucina, Princess of Elise, has arrived.
Oh, you should have said crown.
I lost?
Lucky, I suppose.
Today is not a good day for emblems in the arena.
Thanks to you, I can continue to serve the Divine Dragon. I want you to know I'm grateful.
I did not do it for thanks. I did it because it was right.
Oh yeah, though, it only works, dual assist only works, yeah, if the unit is able to chain attack. So that only works if Ivy has Lucina. Which might not actually be that bad of an idea. Because sometimes I like having that on a flyer, just because it's only a 35% chance, but on a flyer it covers quite an area. Thing is though, Lapis might eventually go Wyvern. She might not stay a hero forever, whereas Anna is definitely going to stay a warrior forever. So I think I will actually go for the Adept book on you to get you a head start on getting Dual Assist Plus. In fact, I'll give you the Novice book as well. And now I need to give somebody +2 strength and somebody +2 defense. I mean, Alira got pretty tanky earlier on. I'm going to have you take the Draco Shield then. Oh, right. I did kind of promise I'd fix Louis' strength with an energy drop. It sucks to have to do this, but there's the strength that you should have had by now. Anna's going to need to train with Lucina if she does want to get Dual Assist Plus later. So I might as well make a start on that.
Big sale on again today! Bring your wallets and purses, everyone!
I don't think I've ever seen this one.
Anna? You traveled to this world too?
That's cool. But yeah, that's actually kind of significant because Awakening was the first game to make an Anna playable. It was also the one that revealed that the Annas are all like Nurse Joys and identical siblings. Yeah, earlier it was implied that Anna worked more like Gilgamesh from Final Fantasy V, who was even that every Anna was the same person and they were traveling through the multiverse. So the question is, do I spend Ivy starting 1000 SP on Dual Assist Plus because she isn't really fast enough for Alacrity? Or do I try and get an Expert book and get Speed Taker? It's going to take me a while to have enough throwaway weapons to really get a lot of Expert books, but Ivy really, really, really likes Speed Taker. Yeah, maybe I should hold off. I was just saying that thing about Dual Assist earlier. That's what I did on my first playthrough, but I didn't have the well at all on my first playthrough, so this starting 1000 SP was basically the only SP Ivy ever had. Diamant and Fram have a support, huh? Oh, by the way, when I said earlier in the playthrough that Fram supports a lot of very strong characters, yeah, Kagetsu. That's kind of the main thing I was implying there. And Chloe's pretty good too.
Listen.
Yeah, obviously Diamant and Alchrist have new things to say here. Oh, it looks like Alchrist on the balcony. And okay, only 2 supports and both of them are Diamants, but if I remember right, Diamant supports with Ivy are very interesting.
Is someone there? No one? Or a ghost?
Oh, right, they're also this.
Please don't be a ghost. Please don't be a ghost.
Princess Ivy? It's okay. You're safe. I promise. Those shadows in the brush are just that. Simple shadows.
Simple shadows, but even those you'll need a persona to be able to defeat.
I was actually jumping at shadows? You're right. Not a ghost to be seen.
It isn't like you to misread foliage as an active threat. Is everything okay?
After all, the following plants don't exist in this universe. That's such an obscure reference, I'll have to explain it. In a stand-up comedy thing, someone made a joke about a sign saying, "Beware of the following plants." Actually meaning, like, referring to plants that follow you and attack you. And if I do end up DMing, like, a Dungeons & Dragons game, I am definitely making a homebrew monster that does exactly that.
Please don't tell anyone about this. It cannot get out that the future ruler of Elusia was frightened by mere shrubbery. Or even worse, that the Prince of Brodia had to come to her rescue.
Well, I mean, technically Aaliyah was frightened by things made out of, trees and rocks earlier.
Believe me, I understand. I won't say a word.
I am in your debt.
It seems you've been dealing with this fear for a while. Here, Princess Ivy. I'd like for you to have this.
What is it? Some kind of crystal?
It's a gem from one of Brodia's mines. It's said to bring courage to those who need it. Keep it as a good luck charm. Then you won't have anything to be afraid of.
Charity from Brodia is not going to do my royal image any favors.
Don't think of it as a tether to Brodia. This is just a simple gift from me to you.
The moment you word it like that, I just think of, this is a present from me to you.
If it truly makes you uncomfortable, you don't have to keep it. I won't mind. Farewell.
Thank you, Prince Diamant. I didn't know such treasures could be found in Brodia.
You clearly haven't done your research because Brodia is like the mining country. Okay. Maybe that's not the support I was thinking of. So Diamant, it's not a Lear. Is it Alchrist? Okay, he only has supports with like Jade, Citra, and Fram. I know, unless it's Fram? Maybe it is Fram? So there's a Diamant support, or it could be the higher ranks of Ivy, that actually goes pretty in-depth into politics, being against historical revisionism, and like how Brodia should actually work to improve foreign relations. From what I remember, it's a really good support, I just can't remember who it's with. It might be the later ranks of Ivy, but I'm not sure. Or is it this one?
Good morning, Prince Diamant. I see that you're an early riser like myself.
No, I don't think it's this one.
Not quite, Prince Alfred. Night owl into early bird would be more accurate.
You mean you've been up all night?
That's right. I sat down to handle a pressing task before bed. Next thing I knew, I was watching the sunrise.
What was it you were doing?
I was drafting requests for funding to send to Brodia's nobles. Our military needs support. Any loans will be used as political leverage in the future. I'm worried, but out of options.
Okay, so at least a little bit of political world building here.
Huh. I mean, I see. I can sympathize with your plight. Every crown prince has the same troubles, it seems, no matter what realm they rule.
I don't doubt it.
Well then, I must carry on with my morning patrol.
Would you mind if I joined you? It would be foolish of me to try to sleep now. A walk and talk with the prince of a neighboring kingdom sounds much more enjoyable.
That's kind of you. It's sad that we only get the opportunity during hard times, isn't it? But a long walk might be just the thing we need to get to know each other. Let me start with a question for you. What's your favorite muscle?
What? That's your opener?
Oh, whoops. I was trying so hard to keep up the act, but I guess I blew it with that question.
No, you're fine. I think I'll take a page from you, actually. I could stand to be a little less formal.
No fooling? Oh, that'd be swell, Prince Diamant.
Yeah, I wonder if that no fooling is an attempt to localize some very casual Japanese. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. So no, that definitely wasn't it either. I'll have to look into which support that was, because I know I need to show it at some point. I've got a lot to say about it. So, I'm guessing... Okay, Sunju set, Pyrenees Nobles, Wild sets, Spruce sets. Yeah, okay, yeah, we've unlocked some Illusion outfits now. I had a feeling. Wow, this one is... I mean, I guess since they're a snowy region, that makes sense. But also, I kind of want to try and forge up that steel dagger that I just found. And I can't afford it because I don't have enough iron. I'll show you enough iron! Okay, that already has 14 might. Yeah, I can only get up to 15 might. Right now, I don't really want to go with that. I do have a stiletto on you, though. And that's a little cheaper to get up to more might, and also a lot more crit. Okay, let's give Yunaka a strong one-range high crit option. Also, I forgot to talk about the 2 new engravings we have. So I believe... Yeah. Oh no, we still have the engraves of the emblems we previously had. But we aren't allowed to switch them anymore. Instead, might 0, wow. But yeah, instead we get the Emblem of Blazing, which does reduce might by a lot, but it raises crit by 20. I really, really like to put this on killer weapons, especially the killer axe, for reasons we'll be maybe seeing later. But yeah, look at this. 50 critical! Like, who cares if your might goes down to 8 with that? Like, 50 critical by default, and that's not even a forged killer axe. It's a little expensive in terms of bond fragments, comparatively, but... And right now, my only good axe user is Anna, so I don't really know about that, but... Also, yes, the Emblem of Awakening... lowers might by 1, but also lowers weight, raises hit, and raises avoid. So, just a general all-round one. In fact, maybe I should... Okay, yeah, I can't get that engraved back, so... Oh, that does lower its might by a lot, though. I suppose this will make, this better for, like, trains to kill evade tanking. It's only 1 might reduction. I suppose I can put this on... it's 3 might, though. It's just really bad. I mean, I guess not to waste bond fragments, because I will need this on a killer axe later, so I'm going to take this for now, even though I might not have any good use of it yet. On the subject of covert avoid tanking, I think it's about time Alchrist had a mini bow.
Here you go.
And that's pretty cheap to forge up, so I might as well get it to +3.
I'll be here.
Yes, you will. And now, that wasn't a whole lot for one Somnial part, so... Okay, I want to try and show something on the world map, but I don't know if it will happen. This just depends on skirmish RNG cooperating. Because there's a type of skirmish I haven't actually talked about yet that I need to, and now might be a good time. So we're going all the way into Solm for our next battle, but before then... Yeah, no, I think we still will go into Solm. Technically, it's better to do that, and I don't think I got lucky with the skirmish RNG. Technically, it's better to do that paralog now, because let's just say it's going to make one of your emblems stronger. But... Oh, wait, no, I still have one. Okay, so Firene Castle. Training. If you see a skirmish that's marked as training, do it. So training battles work like any other skirmish, but as you can see here, the enemies are quite strong because I have a lot of promoted characters right now. But that doesn't really matter all that much because, well, I guess because I'm not really training Diamond, I can afford to take Alear instead of him right now. Because in training battles, characters don't die, even on classic mode. So it can be a great way to gain some experience, which is what I'll be doing now.
Here I go. Made quick work of that.
And that should be... Lapis's Brave Assist. And I need to heal her so she actually has access to it because she's not at full HP. Yeah, getting HP on level up will also ruin Brave Assist. One off, really? But okay then. So if I were to put Lapis here... Of course, if I do this, I need to make sure she doesn't take damage, but she won't be taking damage against this Pegasus Knight because she'll break it.
I'll cut you down to size.
Or she'll crit it.
I won't let this go to my head.
So this is just the thing. For some reason, I just find Lapis crits all the time, even with her personal skill. So if I want to have someone else, I mean, I don't need this anyway because I have the Rider's Bane, attack this enemy.
Here.
Lapis chain attacks twice. I remember that Hero Alear used to be quote-unquote the meta back when this game was new. People have gone off that now. They kind of feel like Alear, like there are better ways to use Alear in this game. Heroes in general, I still quite like heroes. Brave Assist is a really nice skill. Okay, well, I guess we're about to see the effects of training.
I messed up. A fallen hero. That would make a good legend, but it's not the one I want. I'd better retreat.
So, I'll get Amber back at the end of this. But yeah, here we also see the value of Warrior Anna with a Radiant Bow.
Thank you.
She doesn't just one-round Armor Knight, she can one-round quite a lot of things with that. Gotta remember that the Levin Sword still gets broken by enemy lances. And mini bow.
I'm still alive?
I just did that so he'd gain support points with Lapis. So after a skirmish, everyone who's still alive gains a little bit of experience. Okay, I'm getting pretty lucky with Lapis' strength. It looks like all of Louis' failed strength growth has just been siphoned into Lapis. Oh, you also get a little bit of money, which is good in a game where money's hard to come by. And after the skirmish...
Right.
I can talk to people twice to actually get their unique comments on all of the locations. But yeah, you can explore around just after skirmishes... and also talk to these soldiers. Some of them talk about like how good of a job you did fighting them in battle, but you can also pick up some more glowing spots, which are enhanced by your donation level with the country, as well as... Oh, hi, Ivy.
Yes.
Yeah, see... As well as see things like this, just, I would actually highly recommend on your own time going back to some of the earlier chapters, and also, yeah, that's one of those please use me comments. But yeah, just so that you can see all of the comments that some of the later recruits have on the earlier maps, because yeah, people who join from like Illusia have some really interesting things to say about Firene and Brodia.
Thanks.
And yeah, Alfred has a unique comment if you do this training.
Yes!
And yes, I'm glad we're on the same side too, because otherwise, because that way, none of us end up dying. There is a certain other thing in this game that I kind of wish, let's just say, worked the same way skirmishes do. I feel odd, as if somebody hit me really hard in the head with a practice weapon. Like, I'm not entirely sure if, like, either, you know, we just get knocked out in these battles, or if, these are all just practice weapons, and, like, there's a referee on the other side saying, "You're dead, get out!" Yeah, what do you have to say about being in Firene Castle? So yeah, there's so many good lines that are very easy to miss.
You know...
Actually, you weren't the MVP, but let's not tell her that.
I'm thinking...
Unless you go back and do skirmishes.
Hi.
Don't expect me to be doing a lot of these, but I might do some more if they arise. But I mostly like to do ones that are training, because, you know, that way people don't actually die. Oh, that's interesting. So I thought Wyvern Ride unlocked after Chapter 12, but I guess it's just one battle after you get Ivy. But I will be showing that in the next chapter's Somnial, because I'm going to have to make a new meal for this. And I think I'll show that at the start of the next episode, just so I don't, you know, throw people off with, like, my meal stat boost so people can still follow. But yeah, I'll see you all next time as we approach Chapter 12, which I personally find to be a breather after Chapters 10 and 11, both in story and gameplay. However, on the higher difficulties, this chapter can actually be a huge pain. So I'll talk about why next time.